making a misdemeanor a felony to make it a criminal trial.
Okay, but lying and having it be a misdemeanor is not any different than lying and having it be a felony.
He says that he didn't have sex with her.
Yeah,
he said he didn't.
He still made the payment to her, and he falsified.
Well,
I don't know if he had sex with her or not. It doesn't matter if he had sex with her.
I don't think a porn star is a celebrity, with all due respect.
Well, with all due respect, you're 2.5 hours late, so I really don't care what you have to say.
She was waiting to say that. All right, y'all, today's video, we are going to be watching pro-Trump versus anti-Trump Republicans. It's on Jubilee. I'm not going to lie, I already watched the whole thing. It's a whole hour and a half. We're not watching the whole thing. We're just going to watch the first prompt because the first prompt pretty much gives a good explanation or good glimpse of how the whole thing went. By the way, you're welcome for watching the whole thing from beginning to end. I did lose a couple brain cells.
Pro-Trump Republicans and anti-Trump Republicans. The first prompt is, Trump is an honest man. Will the agreeers please step forward?
Fact-checking in this episode
Trump
is powered by
is
Ground
an
News, a
honest
platform that helps you
man.
compare coverage across the political spectrum.
That's crazy. Would I step up for that?
Lady Maga, watch.
It depends how you viewing that question. Because he's honest in a way of bluntness, but he hasn't been honest in a way of like throughout his whole career. So it's like, yes, he's honest, but no, he's not honest. I don't know if I would have. Well, I'm not even a Republican, but or am I? No, I'm just kidding.
Man, because he has stood up for the truth in this country and paid the price
Lady
for it.
MAGA.
He has been persecuted more than any other political figure in modern times. And if he wasn't telling the truth, I don't think he would stick by it. And also, all of the witch hunts haven't really found him caught as a liar, so to speak, yet. So I believe he's an honest man. And I mostly believe he honestly loves this country. That's the most important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think by virtue of how honest he is with his remarks and how off the cuff he is proof of how honest he really is. If perhaps he was more like Obama, someone willing to lie simply to get votes, to kind of hide his perspectives, he might be a little more popular by some of the other folks here today.
What
but
Obama
because
do?
He's very honest. He says things like
not
the whole country.
What Obama got to do with
you know, he's impugned sometimes for that off the cuff honesty that I really respect, considering that we don't have a lot of honest politicians.
And we can't forget about creative editing in today's society. Trump is a transactional man. He's from Queens. And if anybody knows people from Queens like to exaggerate because they were always against the Bronx or Brooklyn or Manhattan. So it's part of his personality. But what I really like about him is not only, you know, has he been wrong about certain things? Who isn't? Is he a perfect human being? Who is? But do I think he's out there intentionally lying to the American people? No, I do not.
And I think Trump, if he were a liar, his life would actually be a lot easier because the press has come after him for things like using tax loopholes. And he'll come out and say, yeah, I use them. All rich people use them.
You
You're
made the
stupid
law.
if you don't use them. Why wouldn't I? And I think he's so unfiltered that he almost wouldn't have the ability to lie. That's just not his personality. And he actually gets attacked for being too honest and too glib, like you were saying.
All right, let's bring in our disagreeers.
Interesting.
Here comes the sun.
I just can't agree. I mean, I think if Trump was an honest man, then he wouldn't be on trial right now for lying about having sex with a porn star and using his business records to cover it up so that his campaign supporters wouldn't find out.
Here we go.
Anytime that MAGA places Trump up with...
I will say this, just FYI, so that y'all are aware. I personally don't think the guy that's talking is a Republican. Like I said, I watched the entire thing. That's why I was about to get into the topic of how Jubilee decides to pick the casting, because it does give acting. I'm not trying to sound rude, but it just doesn't give like genuine, like real people in these conversations sometimes. And I kind of picked up on that like in this episode and in previous episodes, but it was pretty bad in this one.
This happens all the time.
That doesn't happen. That's a lie.
Absolutely
That's a lie.
There was a segment in the Daily Show with
she needs to relax.
I'm forgetting his name, Jordan Klepper. There was a segment of the Daily
Who's
Show with Jordan
Jordan
Klepper
Klepper? Who
where they
cares
went
what
to a
Jordan
Trump
Klepper
rally.
is?
Let's let him
Where they
talk
went to a
for
Trump
that.
rally. There was a segment where they went to a Trump rally and they asked supporters at the Trump rally, "Hey, does Trump remind you of Jesus?" And they were like, "Yeah, he's been so persecuted."
Right, but what does that have to do with
yeah,
his
that's
honesty?
crazy.
You just brought up the
Yeah.
wait, if I can finish, you brought up the Stormy
That's crazy.
Daniels incident, which he is literally
That's something I do not like. I don't like that people, even Jesse Lee Peterson, he calls Trump the great white hope. Like, people who idolize that man, or people who idolize other people in general, like, I feel like that's very sick and twisted, and it's very blaspheming, and you need to repent, honestly and truly. Like, you're not supposed to have any idols, even aside from people, just even belongings, not idolizing money, not idolizing cars, all that.
being
like,
sued for saying I didn't rape her.
Right.
He's being sued.
Stormy
No.
Daniels or
Stormy Daniels is
Carroll?
saying that he had sex with
Eugene
a porn
Carroll,
star.
excuse me.
Yeah, sorry. I'm talking about Stormy Daniels, the case going on in New York right now, where he's being sued because he
Right.
covered up a $130,000 payment by falsifying his business.
Allegedly.
No, he did.
Allegedly.
He did. He 100% did.
Okay,
Because
and
Michael-
New York City changed the law, making a misdemeanor a felony to make it a criminal trial.
Okay, but lying and having it be a misdemeanor is not
well,
any
and
different
again,
than lying
he
and
says
having
that
it be
he
a
didn't
felony.
have sex with her.
Yeah,
He
but
said he didn't.
he still
Were
made the
you-
payment
were you
to her,
there?
and he falsified.
Well,
I don't know
a
if he
lot
had
of
sex with her or not.
celebrities make
It doesn't matter
hush
if he had
money
sex.
I don't think
payments,
a
and it
porn
wasn't
star is a
done-
celebrity, with all due
Yeah.
respect.
Well, with all due respect, you're 2.5 hours late, so I really don't care what you have to say.
She was waiting to say that. She was waiting to say that. She said, "With all due respect, you're 2.5 hours late." Like, sis, you could have confronted her out, like, off camera or something. Like, it was kind of funny, or not funny, but it gave very much. The cameras are on. The cameras are on. Let me call you out.
Sometimes, obviously, a lot
shots
more.
fired.
A lot more.
You know what? I left my son's
Enabling.
birthday party an hour before he turned 9 just to be here because I.
You didn't know it was going to be his birthday?
No, I did know it was
All right,
going to be.
I
Okay,
do-
we'll get back on to
I do
Todd.
want to keep.
Lovin'.
I want to
I feel like
keep the
that's
focus
very
on the focus on the prompt.
So if
Or
I can
fire-
ask this
or
young
fire on
man,
all
because he
cylinders.
seems to bring up these trials a lot. So can I ask you?
Yeah.
Do you think that there has ever been an instance of using the law to hurt a political enemy? Has that ever happened in this country?
I think that
Has that ever happened in this country?
Absolutely. I think that
Okay,
some of
so-
the no, listen, let me finish.
Okay.
I think that some of the cases against Trump are a little bit stretched. I will give you that. But at the same time, Trump did falsify these business records, and we've known about it for the past 5 years. It hasn't been brought to court because he was president, but as soon as he wasn't president, they brought it to court. There was $130,000 that he falsified as a business expense. So if you're going to say that he was being honest about that, he wasn't being honest. It doesn't matter whether it's a misdemeanor
And
or a
yet
felony.
they're charging
It's
it with
still
a
lie.
campaign.
Right. So let's say I give you this one instance of dishonesty.
But it wasn't
How does
one.
that
Look
prove
about
that in its totality?
I will say this, from the 4 main cases that I saw, the Georgia, Mar-a-Lago, Stormy Daniels, and I even forgot the other one. The other one, yeah, I read through them. The main 2 that I feel like he actually, like, okay, he needs to, you probably gonna get convicted of these, is the Mar-a-Lago and the Georgia one. Now, seeing how the Georgia one is playing out and all that mess happening, I don't know if he does get convicted, if they even move forward towards that case, like, that's a mess in itself. But that Mar-a-Lago case, like, it's not a good look on him. Not a good look at all.
President Trump is more dishonest,
I challenge
especially
you.
versus
Let's-
other
Let's let
politicians.
RC.
Right?
Why wouldn't you
So
want to?
You're giving me one example.
Hold on.
It's
Why
one
wouldn't
in
you
the
want
red
to be honest
jacket
about
or
your business
suit
dealings? Though,
just
isn't that
once.
literally one of the most founding marks of American?
Again,
the charge
we
is a
we
lie.
can debate the intricacies of
She
this
needs to stop
trial, which is
interrupting.
literally being legislated right now in court. So
I
I'm
would
saying,
argue
but
that
I'm
his
saying, let's say
entire
you're right.
rhetoric is a lie. He's campaigning in 2024 on the fact that he won the 2020 election. He did not win the 2020 election.
How
he
many
is
presidents-
0 for 60 in court cases.
Well, let's
Okay,
not
how
even
many-
forget the
He is
entire
both- you- if you
tagline of
put a
"Make
banner
America
up-
Great Again."
How many
America was
presidents
already
have
great.
been elected? How many bellwether counties do they have to win to become
It doesn't
president?
matter.
No,
There
it
has
does
not been
matter.
a single proven
Historically-
case of fraud.
All right.
There has not been a
wait,
single
I want to
proven
just
case
pull
of
in
fraud.
voices who haven't spoke yet. Sorry. what's
They
your
were
name?
calling him a
Travis,
Democrat,
you were trying
and
to
they called him a
get in.
rhino,
The
too.
issue that I personally take with the honesty of Trump is that the entire tagline of "Make America Great Again" is inherently dishonest because America was already great. Sure, we've got a lot of issues that are going on in the country. We've got racial division, we've got political division. Even the factionalism between the political sides are an issue. But
He
that
sounds
doesn't
so
mean that
political.
America isn't already inherently great. We've got so many great policies that are in place. The American dream
matching?
is still alive, I believe.
Oh, they came
personally.
with the
Can
same.
I ask, did you take that directly from Elizabeth Warren or Hillary?
Neither.
Oh, I've heard them say that many times. I was just curious.
Well, it doesn't make it any less true that they did so.
That condescending tone. This is. Let's
I
play.
mean, do you think that the American dream is dead? Do you think people just can't move
Well,
up?
if
no,
America
let
is
me
so
ask-
great under
let
the
me
leadership
answer.
of Barack Obama and Joe Biden, then why
Yeah.
even bother being a Republican?
Right.
But just to
Right.
close the loop, let's.
No, he asked me a
we got lots
question.
of great prompts.
He asked me a question I want to answer
Oh, okay.
with a general statement. A lot of people would call you, our opposition here, rhinos. I will not use that word.
Yeah.
I consider you Democrats.
And what
just not
does
true.
rhino mean?
Republican in name
name
only.
only.
That's
I
just
consider you a
Can I
Democrat
respond?
as well as you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
Thank you
let's.
kindly.
I just can't. I don't understand how you can say that. I have conservative values. I have conservative values on abortion. I have conservative values on education. I just don't like a cult leader leading our cause.
Can I ask
So,
you, will you be voting for Biden or Trump, or are you sitting out?
I will be voting for Biden because I don't.
So
want-
Yeah, so you're
yourself a conservative.
How is that a
Thank you. Thank
How
you.
are you a Democrat if you vote for it?
Okay, well, two things. If he wants to vote for Biden, he can vote for Biden. I beg. Like, I think a key thing is like I always talk about this. Don't put your identity in your political party. So like I think if he wants to vote for Biden, he wants to vote for Biden. Okay.
Because I don't want someone in power that's going to not want to leave. I
have
don't
to-
want
Oh,
someone.
oh my God.
Like,
you
if
are not a
at-
Republican.
at the
though.
end
There's
of
just
4
no
years-
freaking way.
We had gotten to a point where, let's say there is an instance where Trump it's proven that he was dishonest about something. Are you willing to look past that? You were trying to make that point.
Well, the point I had made, and I didn't get an answer from either of these folks, which is, comparatively, is Trump more honest than other politicians? And we've given examples of how he is and how that has actually led to persecution from him. In fact, you're only kind of proving this. You agree that lawfare exists, but for some reason you don't think it's applicable in this criminal trial. So my question is, do you think he's comparatively honest based upon the fact that he's off the cuff and very authentic?
So first
Would
of all,
you give me that?
just because all of the trials aren't the best cases doesn't mean that some of the trials aren't great cases. Like, for example, he kept files at Mar-a-Lago for 6 months with warnings from the FBI and
Presidential Records
CIA.
Act.
And
So did
he had
Biden,
the
though.
chance
Yeah,
to
he
go back.
did.
And
That's
so now he's
true.
on
That
trial
part
for it.
is
That's a
true.
clear crime.
Records Act.
The same thing with Stormy Daniels. That's a clear crime. So, like,
She had to pay
I
his
think
attorney
that
fees.
him being honest
The
about
Stormy
certain
Daniels
things
one, I'm
is
not gonna
okay,
lie,
but-
I wasn't. I read it, but I didn't really follow it in like intense. There's some holes in there that I am kind of confused on, because it pretty much sounds like he had sexual relationships with her, paid her to keep her mouth shut. But I think where the crime came in, correct me if I'm wrong, it's almost like he covered the payment with like his business dealings or something, or like kind of like a write-off. Like, I don't know. It's too much to even keep up with.
If
at
you're
this
not
point.
honest about the big stuff, if you're not honest about
You
that
think Biden's more
Americans
honest?
can trust our
I think
elections,
Biden's more honest.
I think on the issues that matter, he might be than Trump. Because
Bring up classified files. Biden has mishandled classified files as well. I don't see how you can.
But he didn't
hold-
willfully do that,
Oh,
and
it
he
was
gave them
he's
back
just
when the FBI
incompetent.
asked him.
Just
Okay, let's
Can I jump in?
reset, because we're gonna get to all the good stuff again. So let's reset next month.
Well, he did make a point at the end. Like, Biden, he did have classified documents as well. But the thing with Biden is that he didn't keep it in his possession. I think where Donald Trump was like, I can do whatever I want to do, is when he kept it in his possession for like 6+ months, which is, you're not supposed to be doing that, sir. I will say, go through the comments. People are saying moderating this episode is truly an awful punishment and stuff. Like, y'all, the whole conversation, it was just like, they weren't even trying to find middle ground. Like, I thought the whole point of the show was to find a middle ground. They were just not having it. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. What do you think about that segment specifically and the question that was asked? Do you think Trump is an honest man, or do you think he is not honest? Let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. We're on the road to 100K. I love y'all all. God bless y'all. This is Uduak, connecting people with policy. Toodles.
All I know